I am not here to persuade you about reading, but have you ever thought of why should we read? The books give soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. But why is reading considered a privilege and not so common? Well, in today's video, we are going to discover the subtle art of reading. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching ATP, that is Among the Pages, where I talk about books and the content written among their pages. Well, as we have already discussed, reading is considered a privilege and not as common as in a normal society. Generally, we see the trend that people who read tend to stand among in this position and who do not in this position. Well, let me be very clear here, reading is not studying. We read every day but not study. There is a subtle difference between reading and studying. While we read every day, we do not study every day. We read newspapers, we read the minds of people, we read emotions, we read language, and we understand it. We study academics. But have you ever thought, why is reading so different to studying, and why is it called the subtle art of reading but not the subtle art of studying? Reading is an everyday process. We read, we understand each day. But reading also enhances many abilities present in us. Studying provides us a path to move forward in our life or to achieve our goals or any destinations. But reading gives us the hope that we stand at certain position in the society and we are enough knowledgeable and capable to face the society and the people around us. It's in no one's hand to list out the particular reasons why we should read. Each one's life is different. The people which each one in the society interacts are quite different. We cannot gauge or dictate them that reading must be their part or need to be inculcated. But reading must be considered a common factor but not a privilege. Well, today I have tried to sum up some of the reasons why should we read or how is the art of reading being included into our daily lives. Well, basically considering we read for solace. Yes, we read for our bliss, we read for our heartfulness. Whenever we read or the novels, the newspapers, articles, blogs or anything, we tend to understand this world a bit more better. We understand this world through myriad perspectives and tend to gather information in how many different manners this world is being presented before our eyes. Reading also enhances our communication skills, maybe it be the people or the author. The author actually speaks with us through the books or through the words. Language has been derived to express emotions, and books are one such manner through which we understand not only language but a whole lot of emotions plus information. The books may be divided into a whole lot of genres which I myself haven't discovered or you yourself haven't discovered yet. But all of the books fall in one line, that is, they are a part and parcel of our world. They come from our own mind or from our own experiences. Each book has something different to be told to us. Each book has something new concepts to be derived and given to in each of our lives. Well, one student has asked me, why should we read the books? If I need to crack a bank examination, what does reading help me? Why should I read? I need to study, right? Why do I need to read novels? Why do I need to read biographies and all? Well, the question is different here. As I have already mentioned, life is different for each one. We interact with a whole range of people in different parts and clusters of society. Well, if you are able to crack a bank examination through studying, then why not give some time to reading? Well, reading overall improves your cognition and your way of understanding the surroundings and the world in a better way. Reading gives you a newer perspective. Well, one more question would certainly rise. Is social media doomed to be time waster? Is Facebook, Instagram or any social media apps or itself, why not itself the YouTube? Why is YouTube not be considered a particular time waste? Well, let me give here and more information. Reading is not about reading books or lines from paperback pages. As I have already mentioned, reading is all about understanding. When you learn something new, it is considered to be reading. But reading involves our voluntary action of absorbing the meanings of words, whether it may be ebook or a paperback. Both of them give us a greater insights about how the world has been continuously changing. While reading about classics, you may find a whole lot of different usage of literature and words. Some of the classical books give us insights how the world was at those times, how the world was during 1800s, how the world was during 1900s, and how the world is today. When you tend to read contemporary books, you tend to understand the various perspectives of various authors, of how they have lived their life and how the experiences have molded their thinking process. Well, if you get the opportunity of moving to a whole new fantasy world or a whole new part of the world which you have never visited, all for free, then why would you stop reading? Yes, exactly. When you tend to read a book, you tend to surf into the whole lot of world or the plot which was cleverly crafted to be put into the book. I have encountered many people saying that now we want to begin reading, but by which books should we begin? Or is reading so much important that we should be giving it enough importance in our lives? We are busy, there is no time. Well, as we have already listed, reading is already a day-to-day life activity which we all have been doing for so very long. We involuntarily read a lot. We understand things. So these are already considered reading. Books give us a greater insight of the world. As simple as that. For reading books, you need not stop or curb your day-to-day activities and push this activity in your schedules. You need not push your activity, the reading activity into your schedules. When you find solace, when you find bliss, when you find easiness while reading, automatically you tend to get inclined towards reading. Well, here there is one point which I thought of expressing. The right age to get inclined towards reading is about 10 to 14 years age. This is the age where a child actually understands the world around him or her. They tend to understand how the world is fast changing, how the people they have met have been changing their mentalities, and they have got enough cognitive skills to understand how things have been proceeding before and behind them. At this age, if we tend to introduce them towards reading, they get to understand how reading has really impacted their thinking process and made it a broader spectrum to be watching this world in a way more beyond perspectives. I cannot list all the reasons for reading because they are innumerable. We just cannot count it. Each day we learn something, each day we read. But we need not push our schedules to read, but once we need to understand the fact that reading always need to be our companion. Reading is a form of relaxation. It tends to maintain your brain in the proper pace where you can actually think about the things which are going around you in a better manner. When you are stuck with a whole lot of things and have no idea how to proceed with the things, reading could obviously give you the greatest insights where you can push your decisions beyond the limits. For construction of a building, the way we put foundations, the way we lay the foundations and we lay the bricks, the same manner is the constructive process for reading. The each page we flip, the each line we flip, the each word we read automatically gets imprinted into our mind, and some or the other day it is gonna value. But there are no boundaries of knowledge. It's a daily procedure of how you tend to understand. You may read different genres, come across various facts. You may read mythology, where you understand about gods and goddesses in all the cultures throughout the world, how have people developed their cognitive skills and how they have worshipped someone who is of greater strength to them. If you are an atheist, you can certainly read a whole lot of sci-fi things or scientific books which give you an enough insight of how actually the phenomenon and the mechanism of world is operating. If you are interested to visit a whole lot of fantastical places and fictional areas where your imagination has no boundaries, your imagination is going to take you to a whole lot of flight where you can understand and where you can witness one of the greatest places of magic, of any new spells, of new world, or a whole world which is not known to you. If you wanted to read about history, understand how decisions were taken by various people in the human history, on the human ancestry, you read the history genre books so that it could give you a deeper insights of how the cognitive skills of humans have been changing through generations and how prudent are we now. So, by these myriad thoughts and myriad opinions, I would like to suggest that we already are reading each day. Then, why not give some more time to reading the books and understand things in a better manner and give an insightful thought to the reason why we are on this earth and why has Homo sapiens gotten another sapien in his name? So let's make this world a better place for reading, where people are encouraged reading and reading is not considered privilege but a common act each one does. History has witnessed people reading always ace in all their areas or respective places. Well, reading must not be a compulsion, rather be a hobby. We all need to inculcate one such hobby called reading. Well, I don't say that we need to forcibly absorb the act of reading. A person may be interested in swimming and another person interested in golf. I just cannot go and blabber to one such person saying you need to read more to understand this world in a better manner. But what actually reading books is all about is it gives you an edge to this world. When you tend to understand how the values and how the things have been going on in a whole different manner. That's all is reading all about. It's not a forcible act, rather a true potential power which can take you to the flight of imagination and become the food for your craving soul. Now, what is the art of reading? Well, the art of reading is actually understanding the each line and each word, the context of the plot, and how the book has been navigating. May it be non-fiction or fictional book, both of them has a certain plot into which the author actually tries to put the reader into. And when you subtly understand how the plot has been navigating and what the author has been trying to explain us in the subtle manner of words and meanings or metaphors, you tend to master the skill of reading. Reading may be a mode of letting the time fly for you, but for some it might be the mode of earning, or it might be the mode of understanding or increasing their knowledge. Whatever the reason may be, the main motto is actually tending to navigate our mind into reading the things which were put into the book. The art of reading takes us to a whole new avenues which we haven't explored till now. May it be non-fiction or fiction, both of them would certainly teach us a whole lot of things which we would be implying and implementing in our day-to-day lives. Well, if you like the way I have been reviewing the books or sharing my opinions on the books, please tend to like, share, comment and subscribe on my channel so that it would boost my confidence and give me the encouragement to read more and more books and recommend to you so that this world can actually become the book universe. Thank you very much.